Hello everyone. Welcome back to Love to Inspired Handmade. Today is April 18th and I am so excited to show you today how to create on tile. Isn't that just adorable? We did these in our spring retreat recently and hands down I think everyone absolutely loved them. They all turned out different and unique, but just absolutely beautiful. This is just a few supplies they make, whether you're keeping it for yourself or you want to give it away. It makes a great gift as well. Whether you're thinking of Mother's Day or birthdays or thinking of you, it is just hands down the easiest DIY you can create with just a few simple supplies. So let me turn the camera down so that I can show you just how we get started on this. So as you see here, on the screen we have this one right here, and with that one, this is the one that we did in our spring retreat. I'm using the Thankful Garden, and with the hydrangeas everyone created something different, which was really fun to see the different colors that they did. They all stamped "You're pretty wonderful." So again, whether you keep it for yourself and just need that extra reminding, or you want to give it to someone, it's perfect. We also had the little stand, so this one was put on the easel, so then that way when it sits you're just constantly reminded, and it's just a really pretty setting. So let's get started. You're going to need some Mod Podge, and this little bottle goes a long way, just so you know. And then I took one of these little sponge brushes here. You can get a pack of them for just a few dollars. They're not very inexpensive. I went to Lowe's and I had purchased some of these 4-inch tiles, and they were like 98 cents. I mean, they're depending on how many you need. I got these, they were a little bit lighter, so I knew that I would be able to work with it just a little bit simpler. I'm gonna move this down just a little bit more so that it's in my eye view of creating for y'all. Then you're going to need the stamp set of your choice. I'm, like I said, going to be using the Thankful Garden. Now in the spring retreat I used this one. Today I'm going to use this one just to change it up a little bit so that you can see the difference and of another image on the tile. So I'm going to already have it on my block. Now the next thing, then, this is the most important thing right here, guys, is this Staz On Ink. So I did try it both ways because I've heard all the things, but of course, until you try it for yourself, you don't know. I did try stamping with my Memento ink and doing colors, but it just did not work out the way I had hoped. Here is the results. Okay, so using my Memento ink, after I put the clear on, everything bled. So it is beautiful. I know it's got that glare. It's really beautiful, but I did not like how it just kind of, the ink kind of spread apart with the colors. So then I tried again with the Staz On, and you see how beautiful, and just, it was a clear, crisp image. I wished I could have found some tiles that were a little bit lighter because it really helped make my image pop when I put the colors on, but that's okay. I still think it turned out pretty awesome. You can also put, oh my goodness, the little pads on the bottom so that way it can sit as well. So let me set these to the side and we're going to get started. I also have You Are Pretty Wonderful stamp set. This stamp set is from the Mixed Labels. I just like it. It's so cute. So that's where my sentiment come from. So, and then just make sure that you have some blends of whatever you're coloring. I'm just using Melon Mambo here with let me see, Granny Apple, and I think a hint of the, well, this one's Mossy Meadow, but we'll see where it goes with the green. But just to have you some blends ready. So let me go ahead and open my Stays On. And you're going to want to ink this up really well. Like so. With it being a different ink pad, I just really want to make sure that it's on real well. Now mind you, this ink, once you get it onto your stamp, will dry fairly quickly, so you don't want to mess around too much when you're putting your stamped image onto the tile. Press firmly down and then pull it up, and then there's your image. Can you see that? Trying to do it where it's out of the light. So it turned out really nice. It stamped on there really nice. So I'm going to go ahead while I have my Stays On out, and I'm going to put my Pretty Wonderful on here, just down here in the corner. That turned out nice, guys. Super nice. Now, this dries fairly quickly, so you'll be able to, let me turn it this way for you. So you're able to take your blends and go ahead and get busy on coloring your image. So I'm going to turn it back around this way just for me to be able to color, because I know I can't see. Now you can use, I love the blends because you have the two ends, the wide and the thinner one. I like this one because I can kind of just go through it really quickly. Not so quick I'd get out of my lines, of course. I want to try to, as much as possible, stay within the line here. I will note, when I do color, I try to just stay right off of the black, the inked part, because it kind of like, I don't know, maybe dulls it a little bit, but not a whole lot. This one's actually going on quite nicely. I haven't stamped this image yet onto the tile, so I'm really excited to see how it turned out. If you've seen this Lovely Garden suite, it is so pretty. It's very much a spring, whether it's the paper or you're looking at the stamped images or the dies. It is so pretty. And you really, when you're using these on here, just don't even press very hard. The tip of the brush, if you just barely touch your tile, it will give you the color very gently, and I like that. So let's do this last little leaf over here, and I need to turn it just like so. So are you guys ready for Easter? I know a lot of people travel. We'll go and, you know, have a little feast with our family. It's supposed to be raining. I don't know if it's going to be where y'all are at, but it's supposed to be raining. But hey, just makes for more memories, right? Okay, so if you can see the green on here, I'll hold it up for you. Well, that light is really glaring on there. There you go. You can see I just did the green. Now I'm going to take and do the Melon Mambo on the, I'm going to start with the light color first. That way I can always go up brighter if I need to. Oh, this light color is actually adding the perfect color that I was looking for. So when I go around the edges, I don't know about you, I just kind of lightly touch the border of the edge and then make my way in. the way these markers work, especially if you're using it on cardstock, these bleed just a little bit. I don't like that. Let me get it a little bit closer so I can see what I'm doing. It's just a few streaks there that, and if you keep going back over the top of the color, it will get a little bit darker for you if that's the way you're wanting to go. See how it's coming together? It's so pretty. Just really enjoyed how these turned out. They turned out very nice. I will say, on one of them, I did try just adding like a clear coat, like from like the spray can kind, and it went on, and I thought everything was going to be great on it, but unfortunately it did spread my ink. So that's why it's important to use the Mod Podge and not the just clear coat from a can. There is a difference. Okay. I don't like, got a little bit of black on my tip, so. And you can kind of even these colors out. Almost done, bear with me here. If your color does start kind of getting mucky, I guess is the right word for it. If you start seeing like that in there, go ahead and just use your grid paper or some scrap paper to basically just kind of run it over the paper, and it wipes off the black. That's why I try to kind of keep just on the borders of the black so my whole picture doesn't just get mucked together. So now I'm going to take the darker Melon Mambo and I'm going to go and try to accent some of the color. Make sure, I was looking at my tips, I wasn't quite sure how that was going to turn out. So then I'm just going to go and add just enough pops of color on there to give it, because I like just keeping it two-toned. I think it really brings all of that to life. Just like so. Come over here and do this little fella. And actually, the more I do it, this bright pink is very pretty on this one. So I may end up, I don't know what you think. Should I keep going? For the sake of the video, you're like, I don't know about that, Christina. I think we should. I think that this bright pink is really pretty on here, so it really gives it the pop that it needs. So today's video, as you can see, is kind of a little more dragged out just because of the coloring and stuff. But bear with me here as we go through. I'll try to speed up this color process. And you could have, or I could have like versed it around, and I should have like colored it in the bright pink and left the light pink. Kind of dab that as the lighter color. That would be really pretty too. I did try a trick on the other one to, after I had put my first coat on, I was able to go back in and add another coat. You will just put a light coat of the Mod Podge on, and then you can use your heating tool. It depends on how much of a hurry you're in. You can use the heating tool, or you can just let it basically air dry, and then yeah, that's it. Da-da-da. Okay. You get it. Let me put the lid on. I'll show this little baby off. So, what do you think? Cute. Final step is take your Mod Podge and we'll dip a little bit in there, and then just kind of start going over it just like that. Do a fairly thin. It's up to you on how much you think it needs, but I didn't really go a whole lot over it, so I just put a thin layer all the way over it. And basically this ensures that it doesn't wipe off. It doesn't, you know, it kind of secures it into the tile, so all that hard work that you did isn't of waste. And see how it did not smear my ink. It kept the color just how I wanted it. None of my lines are like bleeding out. And there you go. Now I have my heat tool here, but I won't run it over it just because it's so loud. But this, again, you can see how it gives that shiny, glittery look, and it dries it fairly quickly. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm gonna lay this one down for you. You can see it too. I hope you enjoyed it and that you create something fun like this, and that way you can share it with all your peoples. I don't know if you can see that one. That one's the messed up one anyway. Here, let's put it down here. Da-da-da! There you go. Anyway, I will be back next week on April 25th to show you something new and fun, so that you can go in your little craft station and start creating yourself. But you have a fabulous Easter, you guys. Enjoy the weekend with family and friends, and just remember the reason that we celebrate such a wonderful day. But until then, y'all keep on creating, and thanks for watching. Oh, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. I would be so humbled by you following me, and ring that bell so you never miss a video.